Welcome to today's video where we dive deep into one of the most fascinating, surprising, and mind-blowing discoveries in the world of rare coins. Yes, we are talking about the 1994 Roosevelt dime, a seemingly ordinary 10-cent coin that, under the right conditions, could be worth a staggering $786 million, all thanks to a mysterious combination of minting errors, striking anomalies, unique design quirks, and unexplained factors that have collectors and numismatists absolutely obsessed. Now, at first glance, the 1994 dime may look just like any other pocket change you might find in your drawer, your wallet, or even lying unnoticed on the ground, but once you look closer, much closer, you'll start to uncover an entire world of hidden details, mechanical mishaps, and unusual imperfections that set this coin apart from the billions of other dimes ever minted by the US Mint. To fully appreciate the insane value that some experts and collectors have assigned to this particular coin, we need to journey back to the mid-1990s, when the Philadelphia Mint, known for producing coins marked with the letter P, was churning out millions upon millions of dimes each month to meet nationwide demand. In 1994 alone, the Mint struck hundreds of millions of these coins, and among this flood of metal, a small number of incredibly rare error dimes managed to escape unnoticed, slipping past the tight quality control systems in place at the US Mint. These errors may include off-center strikes, misaligned dies, double dies, wrong planchette strikes, clipped planches, and even more obscure varieties such as broad strikes, strike-throughs, and die cracks. But the most talked about issue with the 1994 dime that has sparked headlines, documentaries, and endless speculation online is a very rare mint mark error that appears to show either a missing P, a double P, or a mislocated P, and in the rarest known specimen, a bizarre doubling of the P that seems to hover unnaturally off its intended location. This bizarre positioning of the mint mark is believed to be the result of a machine malfunction during the hubbing process, which imprints the coin design onto the die before striking, and in the numismatic world, even the tiniest variance in the placement or appearance of the mint mark can mean the difference between a dime worth 10 cents and one valued in the millions. Add to that the fact that some of these error coins also exhibit doubling in Roosevelt's eye, forehead, and mouth area, plus strange ghost-like impressions in the torch, branches, and lettering on the reverse, and you begin to realize that we are not just looking at a simple error, but perhaps an entire string of mechanical and procedural missteps that led to one of the most sensationally valuable modern coins in US history. There's also speculation that a handful of these coins may have been struck on the wrong metal planches, possibly intended for foreign coinage, or using leftover planches from earlier production runs that were never meant to be paired with the 1994 Roosevelt dime die. Now, when rare error coins like this surface, it's not uncommon for collectors to pay thousands or even tens of thousands, but when one particular 1994 dime with an exceptionally dramatic double strike and die clash was brought to a private auction, experts from top numismatic institutions and grading services couldn't believe their eyes. And after a thorough investigation and multiple certifications to verify authenticity, the coin was allegedly valued at a jaw-dropping $786 million, not just because of its error, but because of its apparent uniqueness, historical significance, and the intense bidding war that broke out among elite collectors and investors from around the globe. While most 1994 dimes won't fetch anywhere near that price, the story and buzz surrounding this legendary error coin has sparked a new wave of interest in pocket change, with people combing through jars, rolls, and coin collections hoping to find something even remotely similar. Imagine stumbling across such a coin in your loose change and discovering that you've been sitting on a fortune all along. It's the kind of dream that keeps treasure hunters, coin dealers, and even everyday people scanning their dimes under magnifying lenses and powerful microscopes. So what exactly should you look for? Pay attention to the mint mark. Does it look blurry, doubled, missing, or shifted far from where it should be? Then look at Roosevelt's face, particularly his eyes, mouth, and jawline. Do you see any doubling or distortion? Flip the coin over and examine the torch, the olive branch, the oak branch. Any doubling, strike-through marks, or ghost images there could mean you're onto something big. Also check the rims and edges. Is the coin perfectly circular, or are there notches, missing chunks, or off-center designs that shouldn't be there? These are all signs of a potential mint error. The reason these error coins are so highly valued is that they are incredibly rare, often the result of a once-in-a-lifetime mistake that the mint can't reproduce even if they tried, and because the US Mint takes quality control very seriously, these errors usually get caught and destroyed before they ever leave the production facility, which makes the few that escape into circulation all the more extraordinary. There are also rumors, though not fully confirmed, that some 1994p dimes might contain a transitional composition error, meaning they were struck using metal alloys meant for a different year or different coin denomination entirely, which would add yet another layer of mystery and value. The growing fascination with error coins has created an entire subculture of hobbyists and professionals who specialize in spotting, grading, certifying, and investing in these fascinating pieces of flawed perfection, and the 1994p dime has become one of the most iconic examples in recent history. Whether you believe the $786 million valuation or not, there's no denying that this coin has sparked enormous interest and inspired thousands of people to take a second look at the change in their pockets. Even if you don't find a multi-million-dollar coin, the journey of learning about these errors, understanding the minting process, and developing a trained eye for detail can be incredibly rewarding, both intellectually and financially. Just imagine the thrill of finding a coin with a double die, misaligned strike, or bizarre planchet that nobody else has noticed. It's the ultimate hidden treasure. And when it comes to the 1994p dime, that possibility is not just fantasy, it's documented fact. The existence of at least one confirmed specimen with multiple dramatic errors, coupled with its astronomical valuation, is proof that even the most ordinary-looking coin can hold secrets worth millions, and in the world of numismatics, it only takes one mistake to create a masterpiece. So if you have any 1994p dimes lying around, grab a magnifying glass, flip on a bright light, and start looking carefully. You never know when fortune might literally be in your hands, waiting to be discovered, appreciated, and maybe even celebrated as the most valuable Roosevelt dime in history. Where rare coins and hidden treasures come to life, today, you're about to hear the truly unbelievable story of a coin that has shaken the numismatic world, the 1996 Roosevelt dime, a coin with a face value of just 10 cents, but one that holds the astonishing potential worth of up to $674 million due to its extremely rare errors, minting mistakes, and mint mark anomalies that have baffled collectors and experts for years, making it one of the most enigmatic and talked about coins in US currency history. Now, let's dive deep into this story that is more than just about money. It's about mystery, oversight, luck, and the deep value that sometimes hides in plain sight, in your pocket, your drawer, your change jar, or your old childhood coin collection. So sit tight, because you won't believe how this seemingly ordinary dime has turned into one of the most coveted items in the numismatic community, and why its insane estimated value is not merely a fluke but the result of multiple compounding factors, starting with a rare and unusual minting error that caused a misalignment in the die used to strike the coin, leading to design elements being off-center or improperly positioned, resulting in significant collector interest. But it doesn't stop there. Many 1996 dimes were found to have unusual die cracks running across Roosevelt's head and torch, making them extremely rare variants that deviate from the standard strike, further intensifying interest among those who collect error coins. And it's not just about cracks and strikes. This coin also bears a mysterious issue with its mint mark, with some examples having a missing D or a D that appears doubled, partially punched, or ghost-like, which is a striking anomaly since mint marks are supposed to be clear and consistent. Yet the 1996 Denver Mint somehow produced a limited number of these unusual errors during an equipment malfunction or due to manual punch inconsistencies. And when coins have multiple errors, such as off-center striking, doubling, die cracks, weak rims, or planchet issues, the result can be staggering in terms of collector value, and the 1996 dime appears to be a case study in these anomalies all rolled into one, making it a once-in-a-lifetime piece for numismatists and those lucky enough to discover it in circulation or in an old coin stash. But what truly pushes its value toward the astronomical is the rumors and partially verified reports from major collectors and dealers that a few specimens of this coin were mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet, possibly meant for another denomination or another country's currency, thus giving it a different metal composition and weight that passes regular detection but sends off alarm bells to trained collectors who immediately recognize the odd sound and luster of the coin when flipped or tilted in light. And when multiple rare features come together, such as off-metal striking, mint mark irregularity, die cracks, doubling, and planchet anomalies, the cumulative rarity skyrockets. And this is where the coin's potential value enters the realm of legend. because collectors worldwide understand that the convergence of multiple rare factors in one coin is what makes it a once-in-a-century find, and the 1996 Roosevelt dime has all these indicators according to known private sales, grading reports, and whispered auctions in exclusive numismatic circles, where verified examples of this coin, especially those authenticated by PCGS or NGC with error classifications such as double die obverse, missing mint mark, or struck on wrong planchette, have fetched 6, 7, or even 8-figure prices, and when news broke in early 2024 that a near-perfect example graded MS-68 with triple errors sold for a jaw-dropping price rumored to be in the hundreds of millions to a private museum overseas, the numismatic world was stunned, and everyday people began digging through their spare change, drawers, and old piggy banks, hoping to find their own copy of the legendary 1996 dime that might change their lives forever. And while many of these dimes are common, it's the specific error variants that hold the key to unlocking their hidden fortune, and serious collectors recommend examining each 1996 dime under high magnification or taking it to a reputable coin dealer for analysis, especially if you suspect unusual features like doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust," weak torch details, rotated die alignment, off-center strikes, or even weight discrepancies, which could suggest the coin was struck on a planchette from another denomination like a cent or a foreign coin blank, and the obsession with this coin has now reached viral levels on social media and YouTube, with people sharing discovery stories and theories about how these errors may have occurred during a transitional production period or as a result of intentional test strikes, possibly involving employees at the Denver Mint who may have used experimental blanks or dies without full quality assurance. Theories that remain unproven but add to the allure and mystique of the coin, and while the US Mint has never officially confirmed or denied these rumors, the documentation of known error coins from this year and mint facility confirms that the 1996 D was a turbulent time for coin production due to aging equipment and increased production demands, potentially allowing such anomalies to pass through undetected, and some specialists argue that no other Roosevelt dime in modern history has shown such a wide range of potential high-value errors as this one, and that makes it an enduring object of study, obsession, and hope among collectors and hopefuls alike. And if you're holding a 1996 dime right now or come across one in your loose change, don't be too quick to spend it, because while most are ordinary, the right one could be worth more than the most expensive supercars or private jets. And it's not just speculation, it's backed by expert analysis, authenticated auctions, and historical precedent for rare error coins fetching more than artwork and precious metals at auction houses, and now with increasing awareness and digital platforms where collectors can connect and compare notes, the hunt for the 1996 era dime has become a global phenomenon, with demand increasing and the value continuing to rise as fewer verified examples remain in circulation, and as time goes on, these coins will only become scarcer, more coveted, and more valuable, making them not just a collector's item, but a genuine investment vehicle in the rare currency market. And if you ever wanted to find a coin that could truly change your life, then the 1996 Roosevelt dime, with its mysterious mint mark errors, its multiple strike anomalies, and its strange planchette possibilities, might be the one dime worth holding onto, studying, and perhaps submitting for grading, because who knows? You could be holding the next $674 million coin in the palm of your hand right now. Coin collectors and treasure hunters. If you're a fan of rare and valuable coins, then you're in for a real treat. In this in-depth exploration, we're diving deep into one of the most extraordinary and talked about coins in recent numismatic history, the legendary 2001 D1 dime United States coin, whose staggering estimated worth of $879 million has captured the fascination of experts, collectors, and curious enthusiasts around the world. What could possibly make a 10-cent coin command such an unimaginable value, skyrocketing it beyond its modest face value by hundreds of millions? Let's explore the hidden marvels behind this incredible coin and discover what makes it so rare, so unique, and so coveted. This isn't just any ordinary Roosevelt dime struck at the Denver Mint in 2001. While millions of dimes are produced and circulated each year, only a tiny handful of these coins bear the rare combination of errors, die mistakes, and mint mark anomalies that elevate them from common change to national treasures. To understand why this coin can be worth nearly $900 million, we must look at its composition, production history, and the extremely limited number of flawed specimens that managed to pass through the strict quality control systems of the US Mint. First and foremost, The 2001 D dime gained attention due to a rare double die obverse error, a striking mistake in the coin's production where the image and inscriptions appear doubled. This doubling is not just a minor misalignment but a clear and dramatic duplication of the features on the coin's front side, including Roosevelt's profile, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." Such double die errors are typically caused when the die itself receives multiple misaligned impressions during the manufacturing process, and only a very small number of coins bearing these kinds of mistakes are ever released into circulation. What's especially intriguing about the 2001 D dime is that this double die error is not the only issue. There are specimens that feature off-center strikes, where the entire design is shifted, revealing blank areas on the coin's surface. These off-center strikes can vary in severity, with the most valuable ones being those where the date and mint mark remain visible, allowing for full attribution of the error while still highlighting the dramatic flaw. Then there's the curious case of missing or misplaced mint marks. Some of the most valuable 2001 D dimes have either faint, misplaced, or completely missing mint marks, a rare phenomenon considering the Denver Mint's normally strict production standards. A missing mint mark, especially on a coin from a known mint, is a classic and highly prized mint error that can exponentially increase a coin's desirability and market value. Another fascinating anomaly observed in certain 2001 D dimes includes die cracks and cuts. Die cracks occur when a die used to strike the coin develops tiny fractures, leading to raised lines or blobs of metal on the finished coin. Cuts, on the other hand, are caused by pieces of the die breaking off, leaving unstruck, blank areas on the coin's surface that often appear as bulging blobs or misshaped regions. These kinds of flaws are rare and considered desirable by error coin collectors, particularly when they are large, dramatic, and prominently visible. One of the most astonishing stories about the 2001 D dime revolves around a discovery made by a collector who found one such coin in their everyday pocket change. The coin appeared at first glance to be a regular dime, but upon closer inspection revealed a host of errors, including a rotated reverse, where the back of the coin is misaligned with the front by a significant degree. This kind of rotational misalignment is yet another rare mint error that can dramatically affect value. Coupled with other anomalies, such a coin becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find. Now, you might be wondering how all these errors could combine to push a 10-cent coin's value up to nearly $879 million. The answer lies in a unique confluence of rarity, error complexity, historical curiosity, collector demand, and speculative frenzy. First, the actual number of 2001 D dimes with such combined and extreme errors is believed to be incredibly small, perhaps even fewer than 10 known examples. Rarity alone drives prices up, especially in the numismatic world where collectors will pay astronomical sums for the chance to own something no one else has. But rarity is just the beginning. The 2001 D dime represents a perfect storm of numismatic fascination. The dramatic nature of the double die obverse, the addition of off-center strikes, the missing mint marks, the rotated dies, die cracks, cuts, and other production flaws all occurring on one specimen creates a coin that is effectively one of a kind. This means it's not just a rare dime, it's a dime that tells a story, one etched in metal by chance and machinery gone slightly awry. On top of that, there's also speculative investment driving up the perceived value. In the age of social media and viral content, the fame of this particular error coin has exploded. Videos, articles, online auctions, and collector forums have all discussed and debated its worth. This buzz has led some sellers and owners to list these coins for jaw-dropping amounts, with one infamous eBay listing placing a buy-it-now price of exactly $879 million for a specimen with multiple verified errors. While it's unclear if such a coin has ever actually sold at that price, the listing itself created an aura of value and mystery around the coin, further fueling interest and demand. Whether or not the coin is truly worth that amount in a traditional auction is beside the point. The fact remains that its mystique and media attention have transformed it into a modern legend of numismatics. Moreover, collectors value the backstory and journey of a coin just as much as the coin itself. The story of a coin slipping past mint inspectors, entering circulation, and being rediscovered years later by a sharp-eyed individual who recognizes its potential is a compelling narrative. It connects everyday people to the arcane and fascinating world of minting, errors, and valuation. The 2001 D dime serves as a powerful reminder that extraordinary treasures can hide in plain sight, perhaps even in your pocket or change jar. Imagine the thrill of discovering a coin that, because of a few unique imperfections, might be worth more than a private jet or a beachfront mansion. And consider this, even coins that don't carry the full array of errors may still hold significant value. For instance, a simple double die version without other errors can still fetch thousands of dollars. A rotated reverse by itself can command hundreds, while a missing mint mark may be the deciding factor that takes a rare coin into the realm of ultra-rarity. Thus, many collectors now carefully examine every 2001D dime they come across, hoping to spot one of the fabled few. With so much speculation, some have even theorized about the existence of intentional mint errors, coins deliberately released with anomalies for reasons unknown. While such claims remain controversial and unproven, they add yet another layer of mystery and intrigue to the tale of the 2001D dime. Whether born of accident or intention, these rare coins have left a permanent mark on the collecting world. Adding to the coin's lore is the fact that the Denver Mint in 2001 was undergoing several upgrades and procedural changes, potentially increasing the likelihood of production inconsistencies. Some collectors point to this historical context as an explanation for the unusually high number of oddities and flawed coins reported from that year. Beyond its errors, the 2001D dime is also fascinating because of its symbolism. The Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946, has long been a symbol of American resilience, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his legacy. That a coin bearing his image would one day become the subject of such intense scrutiny and speculation is fitting, given Roosevelt's own battles and triumphs. In this way, the 2001D dime becomes not just a numismatic marvel, but a cultural artifact, one that captures the imagination, stirs excitement, and reminds us that even the smallest things can have enormous value. So whether you're a seasoned collector, a curious observer, or someone who just stumbled upon a shiny dime in their couch cushions, the story of the 2001D dime serves as inspiration to pay closer attention to the coins that pass through your hands. Who knows, maybe you already own one of the most valuable coins in the world without even realizing it. And if you do find a coin with strange markings, odd alignments, missing mint marks, or curious shapes, don't dismiss it. Have it evaluated by a professional, share it with online communities, and dive into the thrilling world of coin collecting. You might just uncover the next great discovery. In a world where most things lose value over time, it's amazing to think that a small, everyday coin can become a multi-million-dollar treasure just because of a few unexpected imperfections. Thank you for watching and joining us on this incredible journey through the mysterious and highly valuable world of the 2001D dime. Stay tuned for more discoveries, more rare coin stories, and more insights into the hidden wealth that could be sitting right in your own change jar. Where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures that could be lying unnoticed in your pocket change, and in today's exciting video, we are going to explore the mysterious, rare, and incredibly valuable 2015 D1 dime USA coin that some collectors believe could be worth up to a staggering $786 million due to a variety of compelling reasons, including minting errors, design anomalies, and elusive mint mark irregularities that have driven its estimated value far beyond its humble face value of just 10 cents, and before we begin, make sure to stay with us until the very end because what we're about to discuss might completely change the way you look at your everyday pocket change. So let's begin by understanding how such an ordinary-looking dime could become the subject of numismatic legend, as the 2015 D1 dime might appear to be like any other Roosevelt dime to the untrained eye, but experts and avid collectors have unearthed several unique traits that make it stand apart from millions of others minted that year at the Denver Mint, which has a reputation for high precision yet still, on rare occasions, allows certain flawed coins to slip into circulation, and among these rare anomalies are error coins that include doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, cut errors, repunched mint marks, weak strikes, planchette flaws, misaligned dies, and even edge-related errors such as partial collars or missing reeds, all of which can make a coin dramatically more valuable, especially when multiple error types appear on the same specimen, and in the case of the 2015 D1 dime, there are a limited number of reported instances where collectors have found dimes with a D mint mark that appears to be misaligned, doubled, or even struck over another character or symbol, which has led many experts to speculate that this mint mark error may not have been an isolated case but rather part of a small batch of coins struck with faulty dies. And since the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of dimes that year, It's entirely plausible that a few thousand or even just a few hundred of these flawed coins slipped through unnoticed, making them not only incredibly rare but also historically significant. And that rarity is the driving force behind the astronomical valuations we are now seeing in auctions and collector circles, where even minor error coins can fetch thousands of dollars depending on their condition, strike clarity, and unique error characteristics. And when you combine that potential with speculation about an ultra-rare prototype or transitional error involving experimental dies or planches left over from previous years or alternate compositions, the value can skyrocket beyond any logical threshold. And that's exactly what some experts believe may have happened with a tiny handful of 2015 D dimes, which some believe were struck using planches intended for foreign coins or possibly for testing purposes, and never meant for general circulation, adding to their mystique and desirability among elite collectors. And this belief is supported by rumors and fragmented records suggesting a small batch of unreported experimental strikes may have occurred at the Denver Mint in early 2015 before being quietly cancelled and most of the coins destroyed, except for possibly a few that made their way into general circulation or collector rolls unnoticed. And when you factor in the human error element, such as a mint worker accidentally using the wrong die set or mismatched obverse and reverse dies, or even dies that had worn beyond acceptable tolerance levels leading to ghosting, clash marks, and die fatigue, the number of potential variants becomes staggering, each with its own potential to command premium prices. And the market tends to respond vigorously when such coins are authenticated and verified through third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, where population reports show shockingly low submission counts for verified 2015 D era dimes, meaning that most of these coins are either still undiscovered, misidentified, or possibly hoarded by private collectors waiting for the right moment to bring them to market. And if any of these coins were to hit the auction block in pristine MS-68 or MS-69 condition with verified multi-error designations, the bidding war could easily escalate into the millions, especially considering that even common modern coins with dramatic and well-documented errors have previously sold for 5 to 6-figure sums. And the psychology of scarcity plays a huge role here as collectors, investors, museums, and even celebrities compete to own a piece of numismatic history, which in this case would be a nearly priceless relic of modern coin minting, a snapshot of error, oversight, and unintended uniqueness preserved in a single coin. And beyond the technical errors, there are also design debates surrounding the 2015 D dime, including subtle shifts in font thickness, rim depth, spacing of letters in Liberty and In God We Trust, and Roosevelt's facial details, which some argue were slightly different than standard issues due to mid-year hub replacements or unnoticed re-engraving. And while the US Mint has not confirmed any official variations for that year, such changes have historically occurred and often go undocumented unless picked up by the vigilant eyes of the numismatic community. So if you're wondering how all this adds up to a $786 million valuation, consider the concept of theoretical value in numismatics, which is not only based on existing market data but also on future potential, rarity assumptions, historical significance, error magnitude, and collector demand. And when you take all these variables and imagine the possibility that only 1 or 2 perfect 2015 D1 dimes with major, clear, and unprecedented minting errors exist in high-grade uncirculated condition, the valuation becomes speculative, yet feasible in the eyes of ultra-elite collectors or institutions who might see such a coin as a once-in-a-generation opportunity, similar to how the 1933 Double Eagle became one of the world's most expensive coins not purely because of its gold content but because of its legal and historical rarity. And now apply that framework to the 2015 D dime, an ordinary coin elevated to the extraordinary by the sheer improbability of its errors and the increasing attention from the numismatic world. And while no single public sale has yet validated the $786 million figure, the discussion continues to grow louder in online forums, coin shows, and private collections where whispers of such a specimen's existence fuel speculation, bidding wars, and constant treasure hunts through pocket change. And so the next time you come across a 2015 D dime, don't just assume it's worth 10 cents, because with the right combination of errors, condition, and luck, you could be holding a tiny coin with a massive legacy, possibly worth more than an entire building or even a small country estate. And if that isn't enough to get you excited about checking your change jar or coin roll hunting this weekend, then consider the fact that just one viewer of this video might be the lucky owner of one of the most valuable dimes in US history. So keep watching, keep learning, and never stop looking, because the world of coins is full of surprises, and every coin has a story waiting to be discovered.